Hello, my name is Suzanne Bailey Yukawa, and I'm the widowed partner of Akihisa Yukawa. So we actually first met face to face in July 2019. That was at this symposium at Waseda University. It was an event to highlight the need for to disclose all the truth about the JAL 123 crash. And after this symposium, I met Oda-san, and I have a photograph of how we hugged each other, because I could completely understand his heart and his mind. And at that moment onwards, it was like we joined forces. So Oda-san is a great campaigner and the voice of the fight for truth of Japan Airline 123 crash. And I want to do everything in my power to be the British voice of the campaign. And I'm really determined to help Oda-san have a platform outside Japan for his voice to be heard. I'd also like to say that one special story about Oda-san and I. I have to say it was actually on the anniversary of the crash on the 12th of August in 2019, and Oda-san and I made the very most powerful, it's always powerful, monumental trip to Otsutakayama, to the crash site, to attend the memorial service. And Oda-san climbed the mountain together with me, and at first, and I'm very touched to say that it was very important and very meaningful. Oda-san came with me to see the point at which Aki's body had been found, which is marked 4D. Oda was tremendous support, and he came to Aki's marker, and I have to thank him because it meant the world to me that, you know, Oda-san could share that moment with me and we could pray together. And then after that, I was very touched that Oda-san took me to the memorial, the point on the mountain where there was the small shrine for the 5 members of his family. And, you know, again, it's one of those moments that you remember forever. And I prayed with him for his family. So it was you know, very powerful moment that I will never forget. And it reinforced the bond that we have, and, you know, our connection, and the fact that we shared the same pain, the same loss, and the same fight. And nothing in life can be more powerful. So after that, something very important happened, and by chance, Oda-san and I were climbing at the point near to where we had prayed, and by coincidence at that moment, we were very surprised. We encountered the president of Japan Airline at that moment, and he was with some of his the senior management, some of his senior colleagues. And it was a moment we didn't expect. But Oda-san and I, without even speaking, we just looked at each other and we knew that it was a moment that we needed to directly ask the president questions, and we did. So it's almost, I would say, one of those historical moments where, two of the bereaved have the unexpected opportunity to directly ask important questions directly to the president of Japan Airlines. And we did. I, on my side, from an international perspective, I asked directly, and the president, I asked, will you please follow international guidelines, and will you please confirm that you agree that transparency and accountability is everything? And that was a message from Oda-san, from myself, and from all the bereaved. And we did receive his positive answer. The president said that he confirmed, and it's one step. He confirmed that yes, Japan Airlines would follow international guidelines, and he agreed that transparency and accountability is everything. So that was established. However, Oda-san and I, again, we looked at each other, and the next question was, well, why haven't you? Why have you not disclosed all the information? And why are important questions being ignored? And why is important evidence being ignored? So the point was, I raised the argument because it's what we are all asking. And going forward, I mean, there isn't, as I said, I have a copy. My friend made a copy for me, so I can repeat the conversation. And on record, we know that Oda-san and I were told that Japan Airlines would act correctly, but there were steps that could only be taken with the authority of the Japanese government, of the transport department. So that my position was that as Japan is a member of the treaty that is supposed to follow international guidelines regarding air crash investigations, we had the answer from an international perspective. And then it was Oda-san's turn, and he, of course, we are both emotional, and Oda-san asked very direct questions, and the president did his best to answer. And at the end of a very, very important, significant, intense exchange of words, the conclusion was we were promised that Japan Airlines would cooperate. So we felt that was one step, but then Oda-san asked many other important questions, and I wanted Oda-san, I encouraged Oda-san, I wanted him to know that the fact is, whatever mistakes have been made, the world should know about the mistakes. And going forward, I said to Oda-san, don't worry, this can't remain hidden. And we must, because at the end of the day, and we all agreed, the JAL 123 Boeing 747 crash is the worst single air disaster in the world today. So, of course, Japan is the country where it happened, but historically, everyone wants to know the truth, because I'm president that the worst thing in the world is if history is cheated of the truth. And I think that experience that Oda-san and I shared together, it was very powerful. And I hope it serves as an example that after any air crash or any disaster and any situation where a government or an airline or a company is hiding the truth, it's wrong. It's completely wrong. And Oda-san has devoted his life to fighting for the truth on behalf of his loved ones. And I have every respect, as I said, every respect as a human being. He is an amazing example of what it takes to fight on behalf of your lost loved ones. But we hope in the future that, we will make sure in the future that no one has to fight forever like Oda-san or I am or anyone. It is so wrong. And I hope that historical experience we shared that day of having such an open conversation will serve for the greater good.